नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी भाषादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासति गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So now today we enter one more area. Every day we have been taking one topic, charity. Started with food. Food in the mode of goodness is very sattvic, like grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, sattvic ahara. And the food in the mode of passion, rajasic. We are what we eat, we also become rajasic if we eat a lot of spices, lot of chili. That will tend towards rajasic. And then tamasic is meat, fish, eggs, tamasic. No gentleman can enter fish market, he will run away. There was a story in the one house, one fisherman came and he said, "Can I stay here overnight?" So the landlord said, "Yes, you can stay." Previously India was Atithi Devo Bhava. People are also more reliable. Today we cannot trust also. He will be thieves tomorrow. Anyway, he said, "Okay, you can stay." And the person, had a smelly fish basket. Sometimes the bus also see they are carrying, ladies carrying the fish basket. So he said, "You keep that outside, and come inside and sleep." So he gave him a nice place and he was sleeping. Night sleep it was not coming for him. He got up and he slept where fish basket was. So much they get used to the dirty smell that they want that. Otherwise sleep will not. That is, cultivating tamoguna. Sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Now next comes to the person sacrificing what we offer to the Lord. There are different modes. We can offer sacrifice in sattvic, we can offer sacrifice in rajasic and tamasic. And what it was? Yeah. So it's a sacrifice that you perform according to duty, according to scriptural rules, and no expectation of any reward when you worship the Lord. In that way, here sacrifice is referring to worship. Sacrifice can mean so many things. So this sacrifice is in the mode of goodness. And then comes the sacrifice which is done for some benefit. Sacrifice like they have a homa and they put some ghee, they are sacrificing, referring to that. And then when we are doing sacrifice or worship of the Lord, first thing is just like we come to temple, we don't want anything. Krishna, it's my duty, I am your servant, please accept my respects. That is sattvic. Rajasic means, his little more now, words. He does it for some personal benefit. Many people go to temple for some benefit, or he does out of pride. They do some big function and call all their friends just to show how rich they are. But actually he has no desire to serve the Lord. That is called rajasic. And there is one more sacrifice, tamasic. But defiance of the scripture, it doesn't bother to see the scriptures. It doesn't distribute prasadam after the, any spiritual program. Prasadam should be there at the end. Without prasadam, no chanting of Vedic hymns also in it. And no charity given, even to the brāhmanas who come to conduct it. Basically just done. Crazy. And not only that, which is faithless. He has no faith also what he is doing. This becomes tamasic. Okay, so there are three ways: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Sacrifice, understood. Sattvic, rajasic, the tamasic we talked about. Previous to that we talked about food. Previous to that one more thing was worship. Another way. Sacrifice is one way of worship. Another way. Whom you worship. This refers for what you are worshipping, whom you are worshipping. A sattvic person worships devatas, particularly not the Ghora Rupa. Mukshuva Guru, like Brahma, Shiva, Durga. Rasic man, he worships demons. Any powerful man, he can get something. Tamasic man, he worships ghosts and evil spirits. Some people do that. Some, if they know in the forest some tree is there, somewhere ghost is there, they go daily, they offer something and they want some benediction. That is tamasic people. We can know people are sattvic, rajasic by food. We can know by for what they do sacrifice and whom they worship. By three things already. Now let us take the fourth. Austerity. Austerity means basically it has again been divided. When it is not to benefit themselves but to please the Lord, that is sattvic. When austerity is done in order to gain respect, honor in the society, some tapasya, because you want people to recognize, see, I am doing so much tapasya. Like some people simply fast for 2-3 days, no reason. Some people pull their beard, they don't shave. So these kind of austerities, and this is that will go to tamasic. Austerity done for getting name, fame in society. That is rajasic. And austerity performed foolishly, pulling the beard, that comes here, foolishly, and giving self-torture, or even giving pain to other people, that is the mode of ignorance, worst. And then comes charity. Charity also, when it is given as a duty, out of respect, at a proper time, proper place, that is called goodness. To the right person, with respect, when you give some charity, that is good. There is one rasic charity, which is given grudgingly, or expecting some return. But desire of fruitive reserve, in a grudging mood, is to be in a mood of passion. And he is expecting something. When he gives charity, he will be honored in the society. Like many people, they give money to temple, they want their name to be put. They are rasic. And tamasic is still worse. At an improper place, at an improper time, to the wrong person, and with no respect. Simply done. Just like sometimes people force us. They come and they say, we will not go if you don't give some money. Correct? This is tamasic charity. Like in trains, you see those aliens come to harass us. That becomes tamasic. So now, after discussing whom you worship, for what you worship, discussing the food, discussing the charity, everything in different angles of sattvic, rasic, tamasic. In fact, there are many more places. If you want to add more is there. And there is a chapter of 3 modes also, here also, and then 18th chapter again it will come up. Now 3 modes is discussed many times for Lord Krishna. If you want to compile, I made a compilation for my book. There is 14 items Krishna has listed. Now we get 4-5. Total 14 items. Sattvic, rasic, tamasic. It completely disturbs effects of personality. Now something interesting Krishna is saying. If you don't offer it to Krishna, all this is waste. If it is not connected to Krishna, whole thing is waste. Just like this. You cook the food very sattvic, very clean. You got the vegetables so fresh. Correct? And with full attention you get cooked. Sattvic. You didn't offer it to Krishna. Waste. What is the tapasaha tatha kim? The famous shloka. Tapasaha tatha kim. Few days ago we discussed that. Antar bahi tapasaha tatha kim. Aradito yadi hari tapasaha tatha kim. Naradito yadi hari tapasaha tatha kim. Antar bahi yadi hari tapasaha tatha kim. Na antar yadi hari tapasaha tatha kim. There is the famous shloka. Prabhupada quotes it many times. It says that if you worship the Supreme Lord, what is the use of tapasya anyway? And if you don't worship the Supreme Lord, then again your tapasya is of no value. You did a lot of tapasya, you forgot to worship the Lord. Okay? It's like your house, there is a temple, or in a house, there is a big festival today. We have to do nevedya to the Lord. Okay? All of you have taken bath, you are freshly cooking it, and then after that you place it you have to offer it, you forget to offer. Then what is the use of all that arrangement? You forget the main thing. There is a very nice example, we repeated many times in Krishna book. Once what happened that Krishna Balaram went to a particular place with their friends. And this is near Vrindavan. And there all the brahmanas in that place had gathered together. They were doing big yajna for Vishnu. Yajna is done for whom? Yajna Purusha is the Supreme Lord Vishnu only. Now when they are doing yajna and everything is going on, their wives are all sitting, big function. They are all cooking and they have cooked hundreds of items. And they are about to offer the yajna. And then Krishna wanted to teach some lesson actually. So he was with his friends in that place, same vicinity. Say he is somewhere in the vicinity of where the homa is happening. And everybody was hungry. So Krishna says, see, we are very hungry now. You do one thing. Go to the brāhmana, they do see yajna. Ask them that Krishna Balaram are there. Can you give some food? Krishna rather said, don't take my name because I am known as the son of a Vaishya. At least Balaram is known as the son of Vasudeva. Actually both the sons of Vasudeva. But publicly it is not known. Because Krishna was exchanged. So he says, you do this. Krishna was exchanged with. Anyway, that will take up later. So you do this. So they said, okay, we will do. They all went to the house of the Brahmanas and they said that, see, we are there and Krishna Balaram are very hungry and can you give some food? And they were busy. Homa is going on. Om Tat Om. They keep Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate Swaha. Like that they chanted. And so they came interrupted, please some interruption. You are going to offer now big bhoga to the Lord. At this stage, think about this. Can you give this bhoga to us? Krishna Balaram asked. And the Brahmana said, no, they cannot give. How we can give? We have to offer now. Imagine. For whom we are doing yajna, you have forgotten. That is what the shloka is doing. Then what happens? The boys come disappointed back home. So Krishna says, don't worry. Beggar is like that. When you beg something, you don't get it every time. Sometimes you don't get. So what do you do now? Go to the wives of this Brahmanas and ask the same question to them. Now the wives of the Brahmanas had heard about Krishna's glory so much. They were not so much expert in the Vedic mantras and all. They were not scholars in the shlokas like their husbands. Husbands know so much. They can do debate, they know so much philosophy. Wives are actually simple, sincere devotees. Therefore sincerity and essence is more important than all the adambara. Help me. So what happened? Krishna wanted to teach this lesson. So they went to the wives of the Brahmanas. And this is the same question. That actually, her husbands are doing yajna and they refused. But Krishna Balaram told us to inform you, they are very hungry. Small boys. And the wives, when they heard that Krishna Balaram had come to their town or wherever they were in that village, they picked up all the vessels and started running. And what happened was their husband tried to stop. They said, no way. They were like angry, go to hell. Actually, we should make it clear, nobody can stop service to Krishna. And then I will forget you. So they rushed to offer food to Krishna Balaram. In fact, their husbands were very angry at that time. But they did not listen. Do your yajna, keep doing, we are going. All the food they gathered and they ran. And they came to Krishna Balaram and they offered all the food. They saw Krishna Balaram so beautiful. Correct? They saw the Supreme Lord. Was so satisfied in Mona. And then Krishna told them, that's very nice, so kind of you. You can all now go back to their home. They said, we are worried now. What will husbands do? They are on fire when we ran away. Because this point, no, we have done. They said, no, go, don't do it. And by that time, all the husbands sat together. They were Brahmanas, some knowledge was there, they started discussing. And they said, then had concluded, to hell with all our knowledge. Lord has come and we hesitated. They kept thinking about that. They keep saying, there is one paragraph in Krishna book, to hell with all our learning.
To hell with all our birth in the Brahmana family. To hell with all our this Vyagna that are there. He forgot the real purpose. It is for the pleasure of the Lord. When the Lord has come, I am hesitating. What is this end finally? Foolishness, no? Not foolishness. But then they thought, let us go and let us, take pardon from Krishna Balaram. But then they were worried. They knew Kamsa is regularly summoning demons to kill Krishna. They were worried if Kamsa comes to know we went to meet Krishna, they will penalize us. So they sat there. So Prabhupada said, look here, a devotee takes all the risk to serve the Lord. They were ladies. They were not scared of Kamsa. And these were men scared of Kamsa. And they did not go to Krishna also to apologize. Please forgive us, my Lord. I missed an opportunity to serve you. So in the same way, look now. Everything you do, finally it should be offered to Krishna. If it is sattvic, it is the best quality. Just like chanting Hare Krishna. If you chant very attentively, that is called sattvic. If you're chanting time, you're thinking of the whole world, that is called rajasic. And the chanting time, you're sleeping, that is called tamasic. Whatever you do, finally it is for Krishna's pleasure. Don't forget that. That is called Om Tat Sat. So anything you do, even charity we give, finally people say, oh, that's let this go for the Lord's pleasure. You do some sacrifice, let it go for the Lord's pleasure. That is what we are saying. We are offering for the Lord. We are eating some food, first, after cooking, let it go for the Lord's pleasure. So we covered now charity, it's only for the Lord's pleasure only. Don't use money for any other thing. Let it be used for Krishna's pleasure. Then come food, let it be offered to the Lord first. What is the use of your making food very nicely when you are not offering? What is the use of your chanting very nicely when it is not for the pleasure of the Lord? Then what remains now? Sacrifice also, your worship also, your austerity, you are doing a lot of tapasya. If that tapasya is not for Krishna's pleasure, atahakim, for what you are doing, you are wasting your time. If Krishna is not pleased with your food, what is the use of your cooking food? If Krishna is not pleased with your charity, what is the use of your charity anyway? If Krishna is not pleased with your sacrifice, what is the use of the sacrifice? Every angle you see everything. If your worship, whomever you are worshipping, finally if Krishna is not pleased, what is the use of all that? So samsiddhi haritoshanam, whole varnashama is designed in such a way, varnashama, purusha, puma, and the last comes samsiddhi haritoshanam. Lord should be pleased at the end. Then it is successful. Correct? In our life, what we are trying to do? We are trying to impress somebody, always. Always. Actually, Prabhupada says, in this world, everybody is looking for a victim. Somebody is looking for whom he can cheat. Everybody. And he is trying to impress him, to cheat him. Why are you trying to, shopkeeper is trying to impress you. Correct? You take this product, it is very nice, it is such a nice life. Finally, he wants to make a victim out of you. And after he goes, so happy. Chalo, I made such a good profit from that food. He is trying to flatter you, but finally he wants to cheat you only. Nobody in this world wants to make anybody comfortable. Be sure of that. Be sure. That is only with the Lord. Anybody else, when you are trying to impress, finally you want to cheat. Just like this, Ati Bhakti Chora Lakshana. So all these elements are there. Okay? So in every way, this world is organized in this way. But when it comes to Krishna, we should see, we are not trying to make victim out of Krishna. Why? Krishna can make out. Immediately he can make out. For us it takes some time. I told this example before. Somebody comes to you, he is talking very nicely for some time. What do you think? Now he is going to ask for a loan or something. Correct? He asked after that a loan, you say, he simply was cheating. Correct? He was flattering me because he wanted something from me. The same way, when you are going to Krishna to offer something and he wants something, you think Krishna cannot make out. We may take some half an hour to understand this person was actually flattering me to take advantage out of me. In this world, everybody wants to like that, to make a victim. But Krishna can make out in 1 second. Before you start, only Krishna knows what he is doing. It is said, just like in the heart, It's like you smell a flower. Without touching the flower, you can smell the flower. The same way Krishna can smell your desires. Okay? Krishna can understand your sincerity. Are you really trying to please him? So, this whole analysis, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, ends with this point. We are all, finally, we want to become healthy. Wherever we are, Sattvic, Rasic, Tamasic, does not matter. Finally, we want to be at Krishna's lotus feet. Agree? That we should not forget. Therefore, Krishna says at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharmana parityaja. You forget your Kshatriya dharma, brāhman dharma, whatever dharma you forget. Take my shelter. Don't forget that. Somebody is telling me, after teaching Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, forget everything. Because Krishna says, Sarvadharmana parityaja. Means whatever I taught you, dharma, forget it. No, sir. Next line, don't forget. Otherwise, they make it very easy. You hear everything in temple and then you forget. That's what Krishna also taught, no? Sarvadharmana parityaja. Forget everything. No. Next line, they forget. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Don't forget this. Take my shelter. So this is what the shloka is saying. Don't forget the essence of Gita. Prabhupada says in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Gita is, what is the essence of Gita? If you understand this whole Gita is going around it. What is the essence? Instead of satisfying our own personal material senses, let us try to satisfy the senses of Krishna. Prabhupada says we are predominated, we want to be predominator. We are enjoyed, we want to be enjoyer. We are created, we want to be creator. It's a completely artificial position we are taking. Therefore we are unhappy. Let us accept this condition that actually I am a servant of Krishna and get absorbed in pleasing Krishna. What is the business of a servant? At the end of the day, the master is pleased. So at the end of the day, we should every day be, is Krishna pleased with my day without him? And then I pray to Krishna. My quality of service, Krishna was not nice, but you are very merciful. Please accept my service, whatever I could offer today. Correct? The prayer should not go over. Because even you offer the most sattvic service, by coming to this point, you made a food, chappan bhog. You cannot say, Krishna, you must have it. There is nothing must for Krishna. I don't care. Radharani is making, you cannot even imagine what she makes. Prabhupada says Radharani does not repeat any dish. She has been eternally cooking for Krishna and she has not repeated the same till next day. Just like in hostels, people cry. Why they cry? Main reason hostel food is many times not bad. The problem is they repeat the same thing. Same thing every day. And people get sick. We want variety, no? Variety is enjoyment. Today in a different way, today in a different way. Radharani does not repeat the same dish. Every day, different dish offers to Krishna. Okay? So don't forget this point that I may offer service in Sattva-guna, but don't forget to pray Krishna to accept it. Because even in Sattva-guna, Krishna will throw the plate on your face if there is no devotion. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, offer with devotion. Huh? You cannot just, like I was giving an example, you make a very nice glass or very nice, somebody comes to your, or you go to somebody's house, say, and he makes a very nice food for you, chappan bhog he makes, everything nice he makes, and he comes and keeps a plate in front of you, eat. You like them? Take, I don't want it. As if I don't have food. I have food at your home. My home also food is there. If you give it affection, I'll take. Now, it was an example is there of this. Krishna, when he went, I read in Mahabharata as an example. Krishna once, when he came for the peace negotiation, Krishna knows that Duryodhana was not agreeing for the peace negotiation. When Krishna landed in the town, Duryodhana received him. He went and met him. And he said, you can stay at Dushashana, his brother, Dushashana's place. It was a very nice palace, beautiful palace. You can stay there and dine with us. Krishna replied immediately, I neither stay at your place, neither dine with you. I said, why? He said, there is no devotion. Krishna rather went to stay at Vidura's place. And you know that whole pastime. Okay? So try to understand this point. Duryodhana was offering. But there was no respect, there was no devotion. Krishna threw on his place his invitation. Take your invitation. Okay? So like that we should understand that charity you may do, but
with devotion again. Krishna is so rich. Even if you are offering money to Krishna, offer as devotion. Krishna doesn't need your money. He is Purna. You are offering food to Krishna, offer as devotion. You are offering homa to Krishna, offer as devotion. You are doing arti for Krishna, do with devotion. Otherwise Krishna said, take it and be happy. I don't want. So Krishna can reject it. Even if you do service in Sattva-guna, Krishna can reject it. Therefore, prayer don't forget. In fact, what happens, as far as little realization I have, in the beginning you struggle. So that time you are struggling for Sattva-guna. Then as the faith increases, at that time, tears of prayer start. Prayer starts at a mature faith. In the beginning, we are struggling with the faith itself, Krishna is there or not there, or we are feeling a little happy in Krishna consciousness, but prayers are not there. Prayer is actually when Krishna consciousness start touching your heart, and prayers start. And then the protection is complete. When the prayers are there, protection is very nice. Prayers are not there, protection is also not there. Ye yatama prapadyanti. When there is a fight between devatas and danavas, always you see Krishna protects the devata. Krishna protected Prahlad Maharaj and he killed Hiranyakashipu. Okay? Always you see Pandavas, Kauravas, Krishna protected Pandava. Not one hair was touched on Pandava. All came from the battlefield. Without any injury, fully fit. All the Pandavas. Kauravas were annihilated. Not one survived. Was Krishna partial? He was not partial. Because Pandavas prayed for Krishna's protection. Kauravas never prayed. So it is your choice. You want Krishna's protection? Pray. Prabhupada says, ordinary mercy everybody is getting of Krishna. Without Krishna's mercy, Prabhupada says, I cannot say that. He is an acharya. He says, without Krishna's mercy, you cannot breathe for 1 minute. You cannot exist for 1 minute. It is Krishna's mercy only we are living. But devotees don't want that ordinary mercy. They want special mercy. Where love of Krishna touches the heart. We want that mercy from Krishna. For that, as I was discussing on Sunday morning, we have to be noticed by Prabhupada. We have to be noticed by Krishna. We cannot directly be noticed by Krishna. Just like, when we are, somebody is seeing now millions of people are there, we are really wondering whether he is looking at us. Yeah? In one way actor. Maintenance vision is there, but not attention. At this instance, we cannot actually. We have to be noticed by Krishna's pure devotee. Krishna makes his devotee more glorious than himself. That is the nature of Krishna. He wants his devotee to be more important than himself. So you have to be noticed by a pure devotee. Then when he notices you, your life becomes successful. Correct? So we have to pray not only to Krishna, we have to pray to his devotees also. Please be satisfied and accept little service that I am able to do. Correct? What a service I am able to do? We are able to chant little rounds every day. We are able to read about Krishna every day. Shravanam is the highest thing. And then some kirtan we do every day. Then small bhoga we offer to the Lord every day. Some obeisances we pay every day. Correct? We clean the temple of the Lord. We do some small services here and there. Whatever mode it is, sattvic, rasic, tamasic, that doesn't matter. Prayer should be there. My Lord, whatever I offer, please accept it. Just like you made chapati for the Lord, chapati is burnt. Correct? Rice is also half cooked. Dal is also no salt in it. But with affection, if you offer, Krishna may accept that also. Just like Vidura, Krishna was same what Lord Rama did that Kuchela. Same thing was happening. Krishna was eating banana peel and Vidura was in such ecstasy. He was throwing banana and giving banana peel to Krishna. He had gone mad. My Lord has come to my home. He was so happy. He was in like same mood that Lord Rama's pastime happened. He was giving banana peel and banana he was throwing. And Krishna was eating. So Krishna can eat anything. He can eat the whole universe. That is not important for him. Krishna is eating your affection actually. Food doesn't matter. Krishna can eat anything. Correct? So with affection, we should say Krishna. Prabhupada says once actually. He says Krishna with at that time reveals his devotee heart. Krishna, his lecture is saying, and then he stops the lecture immediately. He cannot speak anything after that. Krishna, I am not a devotee. With no devotion, I made something for you. Now I have come to offer you this. Even when I am offering you, there is no devotion. Please accept it. And then Prabhupada starts crying and he says, stop the class. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki.